Hi, my name is Cheebs, and I do a lot of solo backpacking, camping, and hiking, and I take you on those adventures with me. In this video, I hike through beautiful mountains, camp at a gorgeous lake, and sleep without a tent in a bivy sack for my first time ever. I had so much fun making this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, be sure to share, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Okay. So I went ahead and went into the shop that's at the trailhead and got all of my permits, which include the California campfire permit, which is actually good for the rest of the year. And then also the overnight permit and my parking tickets for today and tomorrow, which I'll put on my dashboard right here so they know that I paid. And I've actually never used this kind of permit system before, which might sound silly, but normally it's all done online. But this permit system for this overnight spot, you had to actually drive to the management store, talk to the people, and fill out a permit with them, and then they give you the physical copy of it. Now, this didn't cost me anything. The parking tickets cost $5 each. In total, this trip will cost me the gas it took to get down here, and then the $10 for parking. And you might ask yourself, why do they make you get a permit if you don't even have to pay for it? Part of it is so they know how many campsites are occupied, because there are designated campsites at these lakes. Additionally, it's also a safety thing. If something happens to you, you are on their physical record of, okay, she came in on August 6th, signed her name, she's at campsite, whatever. This is where we can find her in case for some reason I don't come back. So make sure you go through the process of getting permits. I know it can be kind of a headache, it can be kind of annoying, but it is the right thing to do and it's safe for you. I remembered my shoes this time. This trail that we're doing is actually part of the Pacific Crest Trail. So there's a chance I might see some through hikers. Honestly, probably not. It's too late in the season. But according to the registration, I do have someone camping in the spot next to me, so we might be able to make a friend. This trip is going to be about 11 miles round trip, and I will be trying something new, something I've never done, which is sleeping in a bivy sack. Now, if you don't know what a bivy sack is essentially just a shell that goes over your sleeping bag. And there are so many different types of bivvies out there. Some people have referred to it as cowboy camping in the sense that you are more exposed. You're not sleeping in a tent. You're just sleeping on the ground in your sleeping bag with a little shell around you. I'm definitely feeling nervous about it, but I'm also excited to step outside of my comfort zone and try something new. This trail is stunning, absolutely beautiful. And normally the wildflowers are blooming all around here, but it's a little too late in the season for that. It just feels so good to be in this wide open space. This is the first lake we're passing through. You can camp at this one, but it's only like 2.5 miles into the trail, so I'm gonna just keep moving past it, go a bit further to my lake. So this is the second lake you can camp at. We're about 3.5 miles in. I'm gonna keep going to the next lake and set up camp there. And that is where we are camping for tonight. So we're just gonna make our way down there. We're doing a lot of downhill to this lake right now, which means we'll be doing a lot of uphill at the very beginning tomorrow. Okay, I just had a little bit of an encounter that has left me feeling uncomfortable. I'm almost to the lake that I'm going to camp at, and I'm walking on the trail, and I see someone in the distance, a solo hiker, noticed me, stopped, and waited for me to like walk up to him. And while that's not that weird, he like started mumbling under his breath and I couldn't quite hear him. And I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? And he goes, in like a sing-song kind of voice, he goes, "You're the only hiker I've seen on this trail." I was like, oh, I've seen so many people on this trail. He goes, nope, you're the only one I've seen. He was like, are you on the PCT? And I said, no. And he's like, I came from the PCT. I'm like, oh, are you hiking the PCT? He goes, no. I said, okay. And he didn't have anything on him besides a water bottle, no backpack, nothing, just a water bottle. And he goes, how much further until I'm at Round Top, which is the next lake? And I said, you have about 1,000 feet of elevation gain. And he goes, I don't want to do that. And then just kept walking, and it was just, I don't know. I feel uncomfortable anytime someone points out that I'm alone. And especially that, I don't know, that encounter just left me feeling a little uncomfortable, and maybe I'm just on extra high alert because I'm alone. I'm trying to decide what to do now that I'm in this state of feeling a little uncomfortable. And I think my current plan is to hike to the lake that I'm going to camp at, and there was supposed to be someone camping next to me according to the registration. So I'm gonna see if someone is there. If there's someone there, I would feel safe camping next to someone, but I don't know that I'm at the point where I'm feeling comfortable enough to sleep in the woods alone. So I don't know, I'll let you know what I decide to do, but for now, I'm just gonna be extra cautious and keep my bear spray handy. I've made it to my campsite. Oh my goodness. This is stunning. So I got to the lake and I did see another camper. So I'm feeling a little bit better about that. So I think I'm gonna stay. I'm chalking it up to them being a socially awkward person. But I think when you're a solo female traveler, it's safest to assume the worst. Truly. You're not dramatic, you're not overreacting. Assuming the worst might protect you. So yeah, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna camp, I'm gonna stay. I'm feeling okay. Wow. I think it's safe to say this is the most beautiful campsite I've ever had. Well, thankfully setting up camp won't be too hard because we're just doing a bivy sack tonight. The only challenging part is picking out where exactly I want to lay my bivy stack. Now, what I'm thinking when I'm picking out this spot is I'm looking up to the trees. And let me see, this is a good example. So this tree is alive, however, the branches on this side, they're looking pretty dead. So I don't really want to be sleeping under those branches. I really don't want to be sleeping directly under any tree. And I also don't want to be sleeping too close to a tree that looks dead and like it's about to fall. Like over here. If you can see these, that's a healthy tree, that's a healthy tree, that's a healthy tree. All of these trees, not healthy, could potentially fall. So I don't want to sleep anywhere over there. And so what I'm thinking is like maybe against that log, because I feel like it I don't know, in my brain, it would feel cozier to sleep up next to something. So I think most of the time when people are doing bivy camping like this, they're in the high alpine, because the reason you would want to carry a bivy is that it's lighter than a tent. To be honest, the bivy that I have weighs just about the same as my tent. So it really doesn't make that much of a weight difference for me. But if I were sleeping in a high alpine situation, I actually would want to sleep up against some rock formations to potentially block the wind. Okay, so this is the Bivy Sack. And it has a nice little mesh screen to prevent any bugs, but also this is really nice because it'll prevent condensation. The problem with Bivy sacks, as nice as they are, is that condensation can be a real problem. Of course, when you're enclosed in a little vessel and you're breathing, you're gonna make everything wet in there with your mouth moisture. I am gonna go pick a spot on the lake to have some dinner. Admittedly, I really do love these backpacking meals. They're expensive, but sometimes they are just so convenient. These meals are so nice. You boil water, pour it in, kind of give it a good little shaky shake, and then let it sit for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, and then open it up, stir it again, reseal, wait for another 8 minutes, and then it's done. Convenient, a ton of calories. This is 510 calories and 24 grams of protein. This is what we're working with. I'm gonna go ahead and boil some water for some sleepy time tea. A fish just jumped. And there it goes. There goes the sun. It's amazing how instantly it gets so much colder. And this is what the lake looks like with the sun behind the mountains. I'm just going to turn you towards the lake and let you take in the sounds of nature and let you see what I'm seeing. And I encourage you to just have a moment of peace, quiet, a little moment of meditation, if you will, with me. Okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth and then get ready to climb in the Bivy Sack. Now the bear vault is like 300 feet, or probably more, honestly, away from my campsite. So something to note when you're bivvy camping is you don't have the added protection of putting your backpack under the rain fly in that little compartment in the space between your tent and the rain fly. So if you're worried about it potentially getting wet, I recommend bringing a garbage bag, or if your backpack has a rain cover, that also works, and you can put your backpack in the garbage bag. I'm not going to do that because I'm not worried about rain or frost. Oh, this is cozy. Look at that. A beautiful view to fall asleep to. I feel snug as a bug in a rug. It's so warm. I feel like I'm gonna be too warm. I brought hand warmers just in case, but I think I'm gonna be too warm. Whoa. 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 Hey, how's it going? How you doing? I've just been laying in my bivvy, listening to my audiobook, enjoying the scenery. This is so nice. At this point, I probably would have crawled into my tent by now, even though it's not completely dark, just to get cozy for the night. What I like about the bivvy is I just get to sit here and observe nature. I am interested to see how well I sleep tonight. While I'm laying here thinking about how cold it's going to get, that reminded me, a question I receive quite a bit is why don't you make a fire? Why don't you make a fire for warmth? Why don't you make a fire at all? The answer to that is pretty simple, and it's simply that I'm not allowed in most of the places that I camp. I live in California, and there's currently a widespread burn ban, and that's actually something I check for before I come on a backpacking trip is, are there any active wildfires in the area? What are the fire bans? But in the summer, pretty much all of California is under a fire ban. But if I'm able to stay warm without a fire, I'm gonna do it. And it helps me get creative. How do I stay warm in the backcountry without a fire? The sunset is beautiful. I don't know if you can quite see it, but the sky has a nice pinky hue to it. It is very quickly getting darker. I'm gonna go pee one more time before turning in officially for the night. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of. Look how bright that moon is. She's starting to peek up over those mountains over there. I feel like it's not gonna be that dark. It's a bright moon. Okay, I am in the bivvy, all zipped up, feeling pretty cozy. The moon is full and so bright, which I actually really love. It's almost like a big nightlight. It's really cute. I'm not quite tired yet, so I'm gonna keep listening to my audiobook. I'll probably catch you in the morning though. Good night. Good morning. Oh man, that was such a restful sleep. I feel incredible. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out of the bivvy and chat with you. I'm gonna get up and make coffee and breakfast, but I don't want to get out of my bivvy. It's so cozy in here. Oh, so more thoughts on the bivvy. I was so warm last night. At some points I was too warm, and it dropped down to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold. I really liked the immersive experience. It just felt like I was so much closer to nature than I would have felt if I had been sleeping in a tent. And the times that I did wake up in the middle of the night, I would wake up and I would look up and see the stars, and they were so beautiful, and it was just peaceful. I never felt scared. I never felt cold. It was really cozy in here. It's a little chilly this morning. Okay, well, I'm gonna get up, get out, go find my bear canister, bring it back here, and I'm going to have coffee and breakfast in my sleeping bag. And there it is, completely undisturbed. It's the morning time. And for breakfast we have some leftover banana bread and Kodiak protein oatmeal, 2 packets of it. Also going to have some instant coffee. This instant coffee by Verve is actually pretty good. No, that's gonna be perfect. Breakfast in bed. Yes. As much as I love this campsite and would like to sit here all day long, I think it's time we pack up and get heading out. We have quite the trek to start out today. We're going up everything we came down yesterday. Something that I was thinking about last night was how I would love to get into bushcraft and learn how to build my own shelter. The problem is I live in California and I need to do more research on this, but I don't know how to go about the legalities of where I would be able to partake in bushcraft. So if anyone knows, I'm also close to Nevada. I feel like Nevada would have more lenient rules on that. So if anyone knows and can point me in the right direction, please let me know. Because here in California, it is very illegal to collect wood, to cut down wood. I don't even know if you can use deadfall. So final thoughts on the Bivy. I would rate the experience 9 out of 10. And the reason it's not getting a 10 out of 10 is because I feel like I had pretty forgivable conditions to test it in. I'd really like to test this sleep system in windy conditions, in colder conditions, to see how it compares to sleeping in a tent. Okay, goodbye home for the night. You treated me well. What a lovely morning to be in the mountains. The sun is out. The views are so beautiful. I feel so lucky to be out here. I would really love to come back here in the winter time to see what sort of backcountry skiing this place has to offer, because I bet it's just a giant playground once everything here is covered in snow. And isn't it amazing how all of these plants come wintertime will be covered in many, 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 many feet of snow and still manage to come alive in the summertime like this. Just nature is incredible. Look at all of these wildflowers still in bloom. There's a marmot up in that rock field. I'll see if I can zoom in and show you. But he just plopped under a nice shady spot under a rock. It was really cute. I actually saw him running along the trail. Couldn't get my GoPro out in time, and then he skirted up there. I love marmots. They're so cute. And that is where we camped last night, that little lake down there. So we went there, zigzagged down, and camped at the base of that. It is August, and there is still snow. And we are back at this second lake. So beautiful out. Yeah, that first little bit of elevation gain was not bad at all. I felt like it was going to be so much worse than it actually ended up being. I'm feeling strong, happy, energized. It's a good morning. Reminder that it is so important to download the map of the area you are hiking in, whether it's all trails, whether it's a different service. I took a wrong turn, just absent-mindedly, was not paying attention, ended up walking a mile in the wrong direction, had to walk a mile back. So I added about 2 miles onto my adventure here, but we are on the right trail, almost to the first lake we saw. And I'm gonna stop and take a little water break at that trip. I'm stopped at the first lake, taking a quick water break, and I'm deciding whether or not I want to go swimming. And we did it! We made it to the parking lot. Oh, that's a good feeling. This is really cool. So for people hiking the PCT, they have a little food exchange. It's called Trail Magic. You just limit yourself to 2 snacks and 1 drink, which is pretty neat for anyone passing through on the PCT. According to my All Trails data, I did 12.7 miles with 2,421 feet of elevation gain. And yeah, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go find some lunch and head home, and I will sign off here with you. If you liked that adventure and you want more, be sure to subscribe, share, like, all of that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.